Hello, hello, hello! I am Kasazagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. So, we have much to do today, but first we are going to do our role quest. I need to get on it this week and get some of the other role quests taken care of. We'll save role quests for a day when Q can't be here, but we need to keep up with our main one at the very least. Yot is eyeing you. Presumably, it's a bit hard to tell. Lally-ho! Looks like you've been training hard. In fact, your muscles show much bigger. It's almost like there's 3 of you. Yes, I'm joking, as you know, but you do seem stronger. I don't suppose you came up with a clever plan for stopping Stuff's Rosine while you were at it. Don't worry, I have another test in mind that'll get us some more information. Then we'll have a better set to think of something. We'll be killing Sin Eaters again, but this time you're healing them. Well, try to, anyhow. I don't expect it to work. Sin Eaters aren't like us, or like any sort of normal creature, but by seeing your healing magic fail to heal them, we should learn why it won't work. And then maybe we can figure out why it's so different about, what's so different about Sos Rosine. I've heard from folks passing through that stray Sin Eaters find their way to Arang pretty often. Meet me in Mordsuk and we'll be ready for carnage. Oh, I love the night theme of the Cristeria. We're not in the middle of something. I'll tell you a story that I learned of its most recent fan fest. You know, I heard that liquor here ain't fit to drink, but it ain't half bad. Gets the job done and with a real kick. Oh, I know what you're thinking. That Gyo, always downing one ale or another, and you think to yourself, and so good at it too, I'm uncontrollably jealous. I just can't take anymore. And you quietly weep on the inside. I'm sympathetic, I am, but my drinking is important. No, indispensable. Dwarfs get fiercer the more they drink. Really fuels the fire within. I can see you don't believe me. Fine, you leave me no choice. I'll show you. I'll go on ahead and dice some Sin Eaters in time it takes to you to finish off this Mordswill here. Just gulp it down and come find me southeast of here. You'll see. A half-finished bottle of alcohol, apparently purchased by Gyot, sits on the mat. The local concoction within is a deep brown, and from it wafts a stench that can only be described as atrocious. Oh, hells no. A feeling of foreboding, be it the effect of the echo, or something more instinctual, overpowers you when you so much as look at the contents of the bottle. You decide to abstain, and make up an excuse to tell Gyot later. Echo, very good. Only Mord enjoy our brew. No one else ever drink as much as that dwarf. The Warrior of Light, at the very least, should know better than to drink strange liquids. The Warrior of Light of all people should just know this by now. It should be instinctual, not to drink the bad stuff. How many times do we have to get poisoned? It's absolutely the bee's knees that I could just walk on them. See? Your average Sin Eater is no match for me. Not with the power of tradition and alcohol on my side. As a matter of fact, I put down another before I got around to this one here. But I did the job a bit too well. Really mangled the thing. It was pretty gross. Flattened it on all the wrong places with bits poking out and the like, so I got it out of here. Anyway, you get the idea. I drink a lot, I kill stuff. You have to admit that it's an effective strategy. And now that we've got our Sin Eater patient, you can try out your healing gauntlet. Go on. Oh. I understand. As we thought, nothing. Did you figure out the why of it? I think it was never really alive to begin with. You're right on that one. Sing eaters may look like people or beasts, but it's just like they're pretending. They're not truly alive. Only the light drives them, keeps them going like winding an automatron. And healing magic ain't meant for restoring life to something that didn't have none to begin with. But if Sophrosine's power ain't like that of healing magic we know, then what is it? I also wonder why it didn't come and revive this one. Is it just too far away to take notice? And again, I've never heard tell of it appearing at Holminster Switch neither, and so many Sin Eaters got killed there that you'd think it would take note eventually. So why only resurrect some Sin Eaters and not others? This is all too much thinking and not enough drinking. To the Crystarium! The moored stuff's alright, but this here is fine ale. At least that's what my body tells me. And I always listen, and that's how I keep my muscles primed and my spirits high. Speaking of, would it kill you to relax a little? Being so serious all the time can't be good for you, and the silent staring just makes you seem morose. We won't kill Sophrosine any faster for not drinking, that's for sure. Nothing comes easy to sober folks. And that's why I need a few more in me before I can really get to work figuring out why Sophrosine does what it does. I keep feeling like I'm missing something obvious, but... So... that is that. So we will head back to main story stuff. I think is actually just down this way. And we find Miss Q, wherever she may be, if she's even about. She is about. Oh, actually, we don't want to teleport anyway. We just want to be right here. Let's hop into voice for Miss Q. Nope, that's Hello, hello, Miss Q. You are very quiet. I know you're very quiet though, and I have you at 200, unfortunately. Well, do your best. Alright, are you ready? I don't see you about. Oh, there you are. So sneaky. Just vibing? Oh, welcome back, miss. We've been expecting you. You will find refreshments laid out in your quarters. We hope they are to your liking. Will you be retiring now? Very good, miss. I bid you a pleasant evening. I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Ooh. And thank you so much for the follows, Okura. I hope the past few days have not been overly taxing. Pray take your rest and recover.
From the Exarch, is it? With that mirror of his, he can watch your every move, you know. You probably think you're talking to yourself. Still, he's keeping you well fed. Judging by his people's faith in him, he seems to be a decent sort. But so much about him remains shrouded in mystery. Like, what was he doing back in my day? There was no such person when I was around. A lot's happened since the flood, though. Since I was set adrift. I know little more than you do of this city's history and the Exarch's past. Not that it matters. It's Emmett Selk we should be concerned about. When our world was about to be consumed by light, the Ascian in white appeared before us. He said that the only way for us to live on was to bring about the rejoining. Desperate as we were, we heeded his words, not realizing that the flood was of the Ascian's own making. They cannot be trusted. None of them.
The moon.
But Emmett Selk had one thing right. One should not fight blindly. That's what we did. And it cost us everything we held dear.
Tell me about Seto. Maybe, I think, well, I can't talk about Q. Q is blind. Maybe, but I don't think so.
What? What about Seto? What is there to say? All right. He's done some growing. When we were traveling together, he was nowhere near as big. And he obviously couldn't speak. I had no idea how much that medallion meant to him. What about you, anyway? You must have a friend like Seto. Chocobo, perhaps? Come on, you tell me something for a change.
His name is Bean Burrito. And he does not know how to tank aggro. Well, if you wanted to be like, if you knew what was coming, you could glamour into your jammies. Because it just puts you in whatever armor that you're wearing. Alright. I can't help you with your complaints. The manager of Sweets is in a cheerful mood. Good evening to you, miss. I do hope you are well rested. The Exarch and your companions are presently gathered in the ocular. He asks that you convene with them at your earliest convenience. Oh yeah, speaking of, this is what I think of the Exarch sandwiches. I know! I know. They're story items, so they're not even worth anything. Yeah, fuck these sandwiches. They're taking up precious inventory space, of which I do not have any. Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word, and I would be happy to escort you to the ocular.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time to welcome our guest.
Please. Did I not explicitly tell you that we would be meeting again soon? Lest you forget, I made you a promise. I have no intention of meddling with your mission. I come only to observe. Your Exarch friend in particular has piqued my curiosity. Summoning you all like that. Most impressive.
You honestly expect us to believe you've come only to observe? Or that you might deign to lift a finger to aid our cause if called upon? Even if there were a sliver of truth in your words, I would never accept your help. Not in my darkest hour. Not after all the suffering your kind has wrought.
So petty. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant.
Ascian's honest, 100%.
Wage your war against the Sin Eaters. Put each and every Light Warden to the sword. Prove yourselves heroes, brave and true, and I will be glad to embrace you as allies. Allies worthy of bearing the burden of truth. Surely such a partnership would be preferable to yet another round of fisticuffs. And thus did the olive branch wither and die. Pity. Well, let no man say I did not try, futile as it was. Though I suspect you will seek me out when you grow tired of making the same mistakes. Difficult decisions lie ahead of you. Decisions best made with the benefit of knowledge to which only the eternal are privy. For now, I shall resume my shadowy vigil. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it's worth watching, would you?
What was that all about?
A vain attempt to make us doubt our chosen course, most like. As if we'd believe a word that passed his lips. Unless you think there is some truth in what he says.
A kernel, perhaps.
If he simply meant to lead us astray, he could have done so without revealing himself. At least, not in the manner he did. It goes without saying that an alliance with the Ascians is out of the question. But since we have no way of knowing where they might be hiding, it seems only logical to press on with our mission, even if our enemy seems content for it to succeed.
Then let us discuss the Sin Eaters. I would begin by thanking you all for your efforts thus far. In striking down the Light Wardens of Lakeland and Ilmeg, you have accomplished more in your short time here than all of our forces managed in the last century.
That may be, but the Wardens of Calusia, Armarang, and Raktika remain.
Indeed, and their precise whereabouts are as yet unknown. Which is why I propose we divide our forces and conduct a systematic survey of each region. Once we have found our quarry, we may then determine how best to proceed.
I'll take Armarang in that case. I know the lie of the land well enough.
If there are no objections, I will make for Calusia. I have connections there both in and around Yulmore that may prove useful.
Then I would ask that you journey to Raktika. There you will find Y'shtola. With her assistance, I doubt the Warden will evade your grasp for long.
Is Y'shtola the conjurer you and Urianger used to talk about?
That's right. Though we haven't spoken much since she left for the forest.
I fear I may be to blame for that. I had every intention of relaying the news of your arrival, but she is disinclined to speak with me. You have visited her, have you not? Might I trouble you to...
'Twould be no trouble.
My thanks. While you are all out in the field, I shall be here attending to business. I had somewhat fancifully contemplated joining the search myself, but other matters demand my attention.
What's that?
A missive from Lord Vorthry. He invites me to join him in Yulmore to discuss the recent conflict at Leda Luran.
And? Did he even bother to offer any bait? It's obviously a trap.
I should be surprised if it were not. Nevertheless, I must seize this opportunity to speak with him, even if only a few words are exchanged. Though my power will be much diminished so far from the tower, it is a risk I'm willing to take. Master Alphinaud, might I impose upon you to accompany me to Yulmore prior to beginning your reconnaissance?
Of course.
Then let us make ready. Safe travels to you all.
I confess, a great deal of my time in Calusia was spent befriending the people, but that is not to say I gave no thought to our primary goal. Once I have escorted the Exarch to Yulmore, you can be certain I will do all I can to discern the whereabouts of any warden that may be hiding in Calusia. There are so many ruins scattered through Elmarang, I'm honestly not even sure where to start. I should be glad to appraise thee of Y'shtola's recent endeavors during our journey to Raktika. At last I can finally meet Y'shtola. Thangred has told me so much about her. Ophelia and I are no strangers to Raktika, but this is perhaps the first time we've bothered entering through the proverbial front door. Before you leave, I would make a request of you. There is a church, or rather, the ruins of a church at Fort Job. Might I ask that you go there before seeking out Y'shtola, who was a place where people once gathered to worship the light. Alas, it has long since fallen into disuse. Yet, Within that hall there remains a tablet whose writings I believe may prove of use to Yashola. At the very least, such a relic would make a suitable gift for your reunion. A most considerate proposal. Very well. Ere we depart to Raktika, we shall journey unto Fort Job that we might secure with this relic. Oh my god. I need better gear. What happened was, so this was talked about way back in Heavensward when we first met the Warriors of Darkness, Arbert's group. They were doing much like we were doing. They were destroying primals. And, you know, they were on a journey much like ours. Just like the primal killing, the slaying of evil. But all of it was according to the Ascians' plans. And their killing of primals was putting the etheric balance into the Ascians' favor, and thus the flood of light happened. That's what Arbit was saying. He's like, we did everything right and still we failed. It was kind of like, do you remember how the Ascians would summon the primals from the beast tribes? And then we would kill them and they were like, ah yes, just as planned. It's a similar situation. But because we are on the source, we weren't going to destroy the world because of it. But it was still what they wanted, and ether and whatnot. Yes. It's not that the darkness is gone, it's that there's an overabundance of light, which is making it out of balance. So we are removing that light, because, like, that's why there's night sky now. Because of this particular part of the world is in balance. Thancred and I have come across these ruined churches before. I wish I could have seen them before the flood. The windows were a work of art, I'm told. I do not doubt this place may weather another assault by the Sin Eaters, but they cannot hope to hold it should the Elmurian soldiers return. Even with their limited numbers, the guard can use the terrain to their advantage. Perhaps I could convince a captain to lay a few traps out in the field. Here, amidst these ruins, we will find the church of the first light, and within that hallowed hall, the tablet we seek. Time is of the essence, my friend. Let us be quick. Oh, hell yeah. A hat! This will now be better gear than what we have. Well, we need to fix that immediately. Hell yeah. I assume because you are a because you are a tank, your hat will be a helmet, and it will not. You cannot put it on your bunny head. Yeah. No? No, I didn't. I did not. I got distracted by the hat. Just the walk bag of shame. Urianger appears lost in thought. At the height of Lakeland's prosperity, these sites served as not as man's final bastion, but as a testament to his ingenuity and his architectural prowess. The Church of the First Light was responsible for many such marvels, building majestic chapels in every corner of the realm. Alas, the flood, with its inexorable tides, would drown nigh every one, and did all but put the end to the religion as a whole. For the creatures, which then did rise from that flugellant deluge, were seen as agents of divine punishment, sent to devour sin and sinner both, whence the name of Sin Eater. The people were lost, seemingly forsaken by their god. Yet where there is light, there has ever been shade, and 'twas in the dark that they sought solace. The most devout of these worshippers of shadow did then migrate to the Ratika Greatwood, but that is a tale for another time. For now, let us find what remaineth of the chapel here. Twould be most unusual, but mayhap the hall was built below ground. Aye, this is indeed the church we seek. It's surprisingly intact. What little is left of the churches I've seen until now has always borne the scars of decades of disuse. Its subterranean construction hath done much to protect the hall from the ravages of time, yet the reason for its remarkable preservation may be deduced from its decoration. As faith in the light did wane, so rose reverence for the dark, and its followers did want for places of worship. To be plain, the standards which do adorn these walls belong not to those who built them, but to worshippers of the dark, the knights blessed, who subsequently migrated to Raktika, yes? Indeed, 'twas beneath the shaded boughs of the Ratika Greatwood that they finally found sanctuary. Often, many times, did Yulmore make superious overtures of friendship unto them, but they are no fools. The Exarch knoweth full well that Y'shtola in her seclusion doth labor to learn all she may of the blessed and their past. 'Tis why he sent us here, I now see. The tablet of which he spoke, no doubt provideth a glimpse into the history that she so yearneth to comprehend. Well then, we'd better hurry up and find it. Can anyone tell me what this infernal tablet even looks like? Were the tablet fragment of Holy Scripture, 'twould most assuredly rest here on this altar. Yet this would, I presume, also have been where the blessed placed the font of seeing, used in the practice of their faith. Whether then would they have set the tablet? I can barely see my hand in front of my face. If only that torch were a little closer. Search your surroundings for the tablet. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target an area, and inspect it. I can barely see my hand in front of my face. Okay. Oh, hello, Rianji. I got this dialogue from all of them already. Rianji did not even look. He just was like, it was right there. Within the altar, thou sayest. Urianger. I certainly hope this is what we were looking for. How were you able to see in the dark, and inside the altar of all places? Not escape thine eye, 'twould seem. This is indeed the tablet we seek. Curious, these engravings predate the Knights Blessed. If I'm not mistaken, they are writ in the script of an ancient empire of Ronka, whose capital once stood in the midst of what is now Ratika. 'Twill be no small matter to decipher them. A fine gift for our seeker of truth. 'Tis plain the Exarch understandeth the Y'shtola only too well. But come, let us quit this place and make ready for our journey into the woods. Arianje is ready to leave, but not before first offering a piece of advice. Ere we depart, there is a custom of the Knights Blessed which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem the light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches befouled. Thus do they take utmost pains to protect all they can from its taint, including their very names. To speak plain, it is the belief of the blessed that one's own name must ne'er be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not the use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, and in rare cases masters their disciples. So is that Y'shtola hath taken the name of Master Matoya. Lest we offend them, I bid you speak not her true name in the Blessed's presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keepeth vigil at the great wood's border. One thing we forgot to do before we started Shadowbringers was watch the trailer. Yeah, so there's a scene where Y'shtola and Urianger are standing together, and he calls her Master Matoya. And we were like, why? What's going on? I know I have no reason, but I can't help but feeling nervous about meeting Y'shtola. It will be good to see Y'shtola again. I pray thee heed mine explanation of the blessed customs. 'Twould be ill-advised to provoke their ire. Well met, traveler. What business brings you here? Yes, of course. Right this way.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow.
Do you know Lahi?
And so he braves the forests of Raktika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
I showed you that video, right, Miss Q? Of the music director
We have arrived.
on his automaton.
Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Cydia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule! Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days. Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples, all for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
No. I almost talked to you. What do you have to say, NPC? Lahi? If he never opened his mouth again, it would be too soon. Thancred has told me of the Ascians and what they have done. If he isn't willing to help, is it wise to let him stay with us? No. Oh, not that one. It's always important to talk to Emmett Silk. He's got lots of good information. Probably not right this moment. What is it now? Do you expect me to regale you with friendly banter? Oh, very well. I will humor you this once. You may consider it my latest act of good faith. Come on, then. What do you wish to know? Why choose this form here in the first? Well, well, what a curious question. Mortal flesh is but the vessel into which we Ascians pour the elixir of our souls, molding it as it fits the occasion, or not, if we so choose. Be it for a year or a millennium, I prefer to retain the same form until my duty is done. So, after arriving here in the first, I fashioned some helpless body into the man you see before you. Though, as your friend over there can attest, there are those of us who forgo such alterations. He was ever the rash one, La Habrea, jumping from vessel to vessel, never heeding the toll it took on him. 'Tis plain our Ascian counterpart meaneth to follow wheresoever we lead, were it otherwise, he would not suffer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily, if pervadeth every corner, and so long as the light warden remaineth, the Sin Eater shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease, if naught is done. 'Tis but a matter of time before the blessed succumb. 2 years past, a swarm of Sin Eaters did lay waste unto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on, wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For mercy, Y'shtola hath provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps to Fort Gorn. Please mind your business. Ariane said they were rebuilding, but there's no one here. We both know how Ariane enjoys painting pictures with his words, but he did not exaggerate about this place. Well, where's this friend of yours we've come to meet? I don't know, man.
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Now! Surround them! These senators, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Kupo?
That will seem a lot less amusing when we are forced to kill them.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so I retire to the shade. Good luck.
Damn it, it's outie.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runar, report.
Master Matoya! We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
I'm so mad at Ariane right now. We can't talk about it. This man's a huge asshole.
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company, the one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but two Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
You truly thought me a Sin Eater?
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
That ended a lot better than it might have, no thanks to Emmett's silk. Man was bored. I didn't expect her to be so imposing in person. That she should imagine her a stranger. You have been busy since arriving in the First, I gather, but I would hear the tale of your travails in more suitable surroundings. With Fort Gowan yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I'll await you at its entrance. Follow the path through yonder gate, and you will find me soon enough. I hear an ether current. I think it is up here. I could hear the wishy-wish. Yeah. Northwest. Oh, it's right here. This wasn't the sound I heard, but don't matter. Ugh, we're stuck. Follow the path. Da, 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 da. Not here. Do you know Lahi? I'm so sad you hate it. There you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the 12's would, this forest has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed. Well, you better get used to it because it's the day theme of this zone. And it's always day. Have you ever seen such a tree? To think that these are only the roots. Finally, a place to rest. To make their home here, and so swiftly, would surely have required no small amount of ingenuity. A most impressive feat, wouldst thou not agree?
Slitherbow is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come.
Master Matoya's cave music.
I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I have come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Ishtola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
Christ almighty.
He understands that I'm not the same, that I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
New pants. It's not bad. $400, $403. Okay. There's so many people in here. I wish I'd never. When Y'shtola first arrived in the First, she made swift work of the Cabinet of Curiosity. Her thirst yet unsated, she then journeyed hither, seeking the wisdom of Ronka. She found little in the way of welcome from the Blessed, however. 'Twas not until the Great Fire, where she denied the Sin Eaters a feast of Aether, that she gained their trust. Since then, I have served as a liaison twixt Slitherbrow and the Crystarium, that she might be kept abreast of the others' efforts. Y'shtola is staring off into the distance, lost in thought. I am not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can but imagine how Elisée and Elfino have changed since arriving here in the First. Change is a part of life. We can but hope it's changed for the better. You're right, and after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I've changed for the worst. I will have to speak with him later. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about Slitherbrow. If there's anything you need, pray speak with Runar in the plaza. What is going on over there? Welcome, friend. Welcome. My apologies for our less than hospital greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name, and from where do you hail? From the Crystallarium, I see. And this tablet you've brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Ratatika? Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course! Anything for our guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it's the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again. Now that she is with us, I have no doubt that others feel the same. She is much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. But you did not hear from this from me, yes? Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to, so long as they reside within Slitherbrow, to show reverence to the dark. In a word, yes, but fear not, it's not too much involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. I thought Master Matoya kept her room dark because she didn't need light. They're all like hers, aren't they? Should you see any of our people come into this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment that I might rid you of the light's impurity? As Urner lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests. They are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said that their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation? No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect, unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right! You are Sin-Eaters! I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourself with the people of Slitherbow. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alin Tuta, in the language of Ronka. It is one of several ways one might say, good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should note too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words, Alin Tuta, and they will know you as friends of the blessed. I await your return here. Now go. They are like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. With the chat mode in, say, enter Alin Tuta to greet the villagers of Slitherbow. The elderly woman smiles warmly. a newly come traveler, Alan Chisi, and welcome to Slitherbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are quiet and taciturn people, silent and serene as the sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. That child was just having a good time. Alan Chisi, welcome, friend. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison in near everything you see, but fear not. Our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask, and it is yours. I hope your stroll about Slitherbrow proved enlightening. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but I'm already starting to feel at home. There's still so much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see now how they've built such a thriving community. Judging by the glint in Brunar's eyes, there is more for you to learn in Slitherbow. Ah, you have returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we've had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions, or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be so willing to lend a hand, it would be my pleasure. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is that you take a jug of water to the crops in the square. May I help too? Of course! One of you can do the filling, and the other the watering. Speak with Erisabel when you are finished. She will be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill, you water. Minvilia? I know, she's a good bean. I give her. Well, Thancred's been here 5 years. Her a better hug. There you go. I don't know. Have they only been together 3 years? I can't remember. Closer to the 4 mark, I think. This was the only jug I could find, which was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. Take the jug of water to the square before the contents leak out. You will have 45 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, return to Minfilia and try again. No, you got a jug of water in your hands. You can't run. Get out of the way, Carby! Get out of the way, Alpha! You have watered half of the plot. Fetch another jug to take care of the rest. Was there enough water for the plot? Only half. I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. Take another jug of water to the square before the contents leak out. You will have 30 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, return to Minfilia and try again. The whole plot has now been thoroughly watered. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of something? You've watered the crops. My apologies for not noticing sooner. I have been rather distracted as of late. Watering the crops was always Todia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There is no need. The plot is small, it is true, but provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. I don't know how you manage. Have the blessed not considered leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know of our history? How our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knight's Bless was initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Raktika Greatwood. I see you have read our history, but there is a history that is told and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knight's Blessed lost everything. Their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as sin-eaters. The people were without answers, without hope. Their gods having drowned along with everything else, it seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. And soon they realized there was light, there must be darkness. And in that truth they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond these burning skies and the sunless sea above. That is why we pray, for the safe passage of wayward souls unto that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might someday look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the selfsame reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. With so many seeking paradise in Yulmore, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You are kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. To keep their legacy alive. Oh boy, melts. Runar has more work to be done. Done tending to the crops already? Very good. It should not be long before your room is ready. Runar! In the woods, sin-eaters. I fear they may have the touch. Where? In the south, the grove to the southwest. For mercy, they've yet to wander any closer to Slitherbrow. Then we have no need to engage. Inform the guard that no one is to set foot outside the village until they have moved on. But sir, what of Todia's Heartstone? It must be retrieved before the service. Of all times for a Sin Eater to appear. Are you going to leave... just going to leave them alone? Under normal circumstances, we would not hesitate in striking the beasts down, but if they indeed have the touch, I will not risk them corrupting one of our own. What was that you said before about a stone? A few days past, Todia, a child of the Night's Blessed, was slain by the Sin Eaters. We succeeded in retrieving her body, but in our haste, we failed to notice that her necklace was gone. Strung to it was a pendant of jade, her Heartstone. All of the Night's Blessed are given us such a stone at birth. It is the most valuable possession one can own. It is custom to present the Heartstone of the deceased at their funeral, as an offering to the heavens, but now... What if I could find it for you? I have experience fighting Sin Eaters, and the light's corruption does not touch me like it does others. Master Matoya called you Minfilia, did she not? Are you truly the Minfilia, descended from the Oracle? Even so, I dare not ask you to risk your life for the blessed. I understand how you feel, but I can't stand by knowing that your people are in need, and I can help. Please let me do this. Very well, but if the danger proves too great, you must retreat. I could never forgive myself if we were forced to hold a second service. I nearly forgot about Thancred. What if he returns before I do? Don't worry. I'll come with you. Thank you. With you at my side, I'm certain we can deal with them in no time at all. Go swiftly, and may the shadows keep you both. So, I do not believe it's part of the main quest, but this is the land where you can do the Great Serpent of Ranka questline. So if you do the side quests and stuff, you can finally meet the lad. The Great Serpent of Ranka. It should be around somewhere here, I think. There, the Sin Eaters. I was hoping there would only be one. There's no way we can search for the stone without dealing with them first. Let's get to it then. What? Shouldn't we make a plan first? Though there are only two. I'll draw one of them away, and you deal with the other. She's so brave. Akali, there you are. It's done, though I fear I was a bit careless. I'll do better next time, I promise. I'm fine, don't worry about me. More importantly, we have to find that heartstone. They said it was made of jade, right? I'll search over there in the bush. Yeah, right. That's the trick. You gotta walk with confidence. Wow. That was deeply unfortunate. What an asshole. I remembered it was in like a tree branch like this, but I just went to the wrong tree. Da, 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 da. Did you have any luck? It's beautiful. This has to be it. You know, Thancred always said you were a woman of many talents, and I think I'm beginning to understand what he meant. I have much to learn if I'm ever to be half the hero you are. The hero she was. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. We should hurry back to Slitherbow. Runar and the others are probably worried. That's unfair to 1.0 Minfilia. She also saved the first. I think you're being a bit unkind. Thank goodness you are safe. I had begun to fear the worst. By all that is dark, you found it. We can proceed with her service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits into the sunless sea in the hereafter. Even should we be felled by the Sin Eaters, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. Runar lets out a sigh of relief. Words fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the blessed. I must insist you and your friends attend to the service as honored guests. There is still much we must do to prepare, but please go and inform the others it will be held in the darker. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Uh-oh. Well, out with it then. Don't do it. Don't talk to her. Akali, And I learned so much about the Knights Blessed while you were away, and we helped them recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I know I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really needed our help. There were sin eaters and... As long as she accompanied you, but do try to be more careful. Your injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you... Let's just say a little bird told me, and it's telling me now that Akali has business with us. Is something the matter? They've asked us to attend the service. Of course we'll go. It's being held in the darker, is it? We'll take care not to be late, I promise. The elderly woman hands you a candle, and then she points over at a nearby corner where you might place it. Oh, my little candle. It's so tiny.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
Let us begin. I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Todia, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers. We entrust her now to the night's sweet embrace. In darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
Call upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul unto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her unto paradise everlasting.
I am told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks. The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Todia. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
I should like to have met her.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing. Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will? Forgive me, thinking of all those we have lost.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Urianger and I have finished deciphering the tablet, and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
Hopefully Y'shtola has good news to share. A chance to reclaim the night has lit a fire in Minfilia that I would see kindled. What do you suppose she's gleaned from the tablet? I have no doubt that thou wilt find the content of this tablet most informative. Good, you're here. Thanks to the Exarch's gift, our next course of action is now clear. Y'shtola seems quite pleased with herself, but whether she has good news or bad news to share remains to be seen. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. And do you think this ancient petition will somehow help us get to Yaxmaja? Indeed we do. For etched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove themselves an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruins' protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan texts and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here, in Sitia, quite close to Silverbrow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of dark worshippers, the children of the everlasting dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I'm afraid that I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. And before you even ask, the answer is no. If we're to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, I'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe. Then let us convene outside, to the west of Slitherburrow, where the path diverges. Da, 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 da. Take care, Akali. For my part, I shall make all possible preparations that Y'shtola may begin translating the tablet upon her return. Oh, can I have a ride? Thank you. I gotta put on my new gloves. There's a card stuck in the wall there. All set? The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has ought to share of their recent activity, but we must tread carefully. There is a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse the victims of sin and usher them into the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. You gotta speak up if you want to ride. And then I stopped. I didn't realize I had the Moogle. And then I stopped. I went like 2 feet. I went like 2 feet. Just bring the bird in here. I like that I got you and not me. By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would arrive sooner, but we had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. You are an acquaintance of Master Matoya. My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look, and I was careless. Strange? What have you seen? At first, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary. The usual gathering of ingredients for poisons and flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers, as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? It could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. Perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nest, were to keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nests and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. What a mischievous plan! I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Have anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs on the outpost just over there. Then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Oh my goodness gracious. Bees. You can use a smoke bomb on the next one. Oh, did you? I thought you didn't get a chance to. This is where you mine honeycombs for gatherers. I needed them for probably raid food. I've seen so much of this forest. Go ahead. We just got bags full of bees. Were you able to find any? The guard returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in inquiring what we need. How did you fare? This is more than enough. The children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. A beautiful plan. Y'shtola is ready to move. The children's settlement is to the west, a place called Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spider's nests. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. What? I know. Hell yeah. Where do you need to go? I think those are sound-based. But I couldn't remember. We should move quickly before the children arrive. Up there's the airway. Do you see it? A fair bit. A bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes, keeping it closed, enough that it falls open when it lands. May I do the honors? This is an incredibly fucked up thing we're doing. That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees by the abyss, they're everywhere. Help! Someone help! We have to save the spiders. It sounds like our plan is working. Still, it's not quite likely. It is quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. If you should come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of the struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy your stroller more time. Should anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred. The shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you are both ready... I don't think we're gonna go this way. Well, maybe we are. No, that's up. Okay. I couldn't quite remember where to go. It's a touch unclear. Ooh. Yeah, I actually don't think this is the way. Well, fuck it. Yeah, we probably should have gone the other way. I hope we don't make a scene in here. Pardon me. We'll probably have to fight at least the one guy. The font of seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place there near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in? Oh, there's all sorts of paintings. Yes, this is it. I will be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining these murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance I can tell they are old, predating from the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. We'll not like to come here a second time. 'Twould behoove us to learn all that we can. Examine the murals and take note of what events they may depict. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target a mural and examine it with a click. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne, attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from the encroaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded. The mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it. Slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was. But he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends. A tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself? I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder. Rather faded, isn't it, compared to the others? Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place. Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
Good to see my distraction proved successful. Yes. I believe I now have everything I needed to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Akali, did the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes from the ages of gods, the broken empire, and immediately before the flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities, though it has no bearing on the task at hand. Perhaps that knowledge may prove useful in the future. The outfit is coming together. Y'shtola's thirst for knowledge sated, she seems content to return to Slitherbough. Let us hurry to Slitherbough. The others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you will be the first to know. Do you have your mouse on a favorite by chance? Okay, because I never see you on the little ship that we got for the that we went to go Nidhogg's place on. I don't like that one either. But I thought you had like a randomized. So I was like, how has that one never come up? Ooh. Nope. Whatever. It's all the mounts. I have too many favorites on Casa. But I have like 100 mounts on Casa. Well, 100's a mile over. That's a little. I have a lot. Akali, the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to wove an oath, and no sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me. But she is safe, and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by the fire? The stew will soon be ready.
Strange. The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it? The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source. Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
Though I have given thought to this possibility. I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy. I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Help! Someone help! The Ilmorans have come for us! We're under attack!
So, before we'll let this one piece of dialogue play out, but
Lord Vorthry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
Jesus. When we were all surrounded and Y'shtola was there and called us a Light Warden, and Urianger had the audacity to be like, she just does not, it has been too long, and she does not recognize your radiant, your radiant aether from being the Warrior of Light. He's a fucking absolute bastard. He knows. He knows, and he is purposely not telling us. And he's talking to Y'shtola like, well, I suspect, but he absolutely knows, or he wouldn't have phrased that the way he phrased it.
And you as disingenuous. Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of dissidents people are calling Warriors of Darkness, they have slain Sin-Eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers. So I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin-Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god. I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need. Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that which I afford them. That is why the Sin Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome. And we will, once we eliminate the Sin Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now, and the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making, or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Forthry. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know, that their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains, and I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin Eaters?
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you! So naive! So painfully predictable! Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated! The people of this world are mine to rule, mine to command. And you are no exception! What? How did he... Insolent swine! I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
This dude. Oh, did you notice that? Don't worry about it.
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you've come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands.
By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore.
You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore. Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith. You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for woven oath with all haste. We will leave you, that you may have time to prepare.
Woven oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our faith to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the righteous path.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
That Yulmore has gained a foothold here in these woods bodes ill for the Knights Blessed. Surely there's something we can do to help the Knights Blessed, isn't there? The god has been afflicted with the most terrible and efficacious poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations, alas his condition remains unchanged. At present we can but slow the poison advance. I pray it will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. Urianger wears a somber expression. How fareth the young guard? The poison thread spread throughout his system before long before he was brought here. At present there is naught we can do but try to ease his pain. Do not blame yourselves, my friends. All that can be done has been done. Even had we reached him sooner, it would have made little difference. The children employ countless poisons. Finding a suitable antidote is nigh impossible task. What of the rest of the blessed? How have they taken the news of Yulmore's generous proposition? With anger and dismay, we cannot hope but to oppose them both and the children. I considered a convocation of all Knights Blessed that we might consider their ultimatum, but I know how they will answer. Master Matoya, I am truly sorry. We will not, cannot abandon our faith. But there is no reason for you to suffer our decision. Your work is not yet done, and you still have time to flee. Flee? I am not wont to run away from my troubles. In fact, with Akali's arrival, I am minded to take the offensive. The Umarian's presence here plainly stems from a desire to protect the Light Warden. I say we seek it out and slay the creature before they return. Were darkness to fall over Raktika, they would have no cause to remain. All of which is rather easier said than done, unless, of course, you finally decipher the tablet. I have, as a matter of fact, and with it we can prepare for everything we need to enter Yakshmaja. What say you all? We will need to act quickly, but I believe it can be done. We cannot deny our fate, but one course lieth before us. We slay the Light Warden. Good. I leave the blessed in your capable hands, Runar. Very well. I see there is no changing your mind. By all that is dark, I swear to keep the blessed safe. According to the tablet, we will first need to obtain a seal used to identify the allies of Ronka in times past. One such seal should be waiting for us in a complex of underwater ruins not far from here. You have some experience with subaquatic excursions, do you not? Then this should prove to be a simple task for you. The ruins we seek are at the bottom of Lake Sui Mekata. While you see to that, Benvili and I will remain here to help shore up Silderbrow's defenses. Your aid would be greatly appreciated. Let's go into the swamp. The swamp. We're going swamping. There you are, ready for a swim. The seal we seek should be stored in a chamber somewhere inside the ruins beneath the lake. However, the entrance is seemingly protected by a subtle-looking mechanism rooted in the symbolism of Ronkan culture. The Rokan sought to live in harmony with nature and considered certain animals to be sacred. Foremost in their pantheon was the snake, portrayed as the protector of the wood, the arbiter of life and death. Below it were four others, each at equal rank: the coral, the colibri, the opu-opu, and the wolf, characterized by the bringers of liberty, words, enlightenment, and harmony, respectively. To open the chamber containing the seal, the tablet states that one must pay due deference to three of those beasts by placing one's palm on monuments wrought in their image, and that this must be done in a specific sequence. If my interpretation is correct, the order can be discerned by 3 commandments which follow. Oh fuck. I missed the first one. Did you grab that? Thank you. Be as the opu-opu, rival thy kin. As all parts seek betterment, so too does the whole. Be as the wolf. Move as one. Peace comes to all who seek harmony with their kin. The tablet says naught of the placement, size, or appearance of the monuments, alas. Hopefully all will become clear when you reach the bottom of the lake. Go safely. And clicking too quickly, as I am wont to do. Oops. There we go. You find a statue of a snake. You sense something stir elsewhere in the lake. You find a statue of an Apu-Apu. You sense something stir elsewhere in the lake. My whale is just cruising through this water. You find a statue of a wolf. Once more you sense something stirs elsewhere in the lake. Perhaps the chamber containing the seal is open. You doing okay, Q? I will see if I can find the door for you. It was like hidden in some rocks. Yeah, it was over here. You see me? It's down here. Oh, oh, that's Snake? Ooh, hold on. Let me see if I can help you. Yeah, it's in there. You just have to look. Use your eyes and assess the situation. A door opens to reveal a pedestal upon which rests a medallion. You take it and secure it inside your clothing. Did you find it? This medallion. It bears the all insignia of the Empire. There can be no doubt that this is the seal of Ronka. Well done, Akali. We can begin our preparations to enter Yixmaja in earnest. Oh, it's so pretty. Y'shtola would waste no time in heading to Yixmaja. Bearing this seal, it should be possible to enter Yixmaja unmolested by its guardians. I will go ahead to Slitherbow to inform the others. When you have recovered from your exertions, meet with us in the cab route leading east out of the village. I'm taking the lazy girl route. I'm so glad to see you're safe. Everyone is ready to go if you are. We've done what we can to prepare them for the worst. Still, we should hurry before the children return with the Yomorian reinforcements. That you all found the seal is perhaps bittersweet proof that the aid for which it was so painstakingly forged never came. Thus did the Empire crumble, its ruins reclaimed by the wood, Fate is ever a fickle mistress. Good, you're here. Runar opened the gate for us but moments ago. Beyond lies Yakmaja and presumably the Light Warden. It did not take long for the Wood's protectors to find me when last I came here, and I expect them to fall upon us just as quickly this time. Though we carry the seal, that is no reason for us to let our guard down. Now, let us seek out the Warden and put an end to its reign over these woods. What's your new gunblade look like? Ooh. The blue spirit weapons are so pretty. Ooh, how fancy. Dun, dun, dun. Lobby. Oh, my mouse is...
It would seem we have found them.
You trespass upon sacred ground! Begone!
Wait! We did not come to!
That is not how you play Astrologian, Arianji.
Stop! We mean you no harm.
Sister, is that...
We are allies of the Empire of Ronka. As is customary, we come bearing the seal of the Emperor.
It appears to be genuine. Then perhaps there is yet hope.
Perhaps. We acknowledge your seal, but we must be certain of its authenticity. Follow the azure flowers to our village. There we will judge if you are friend or foe.
Try not to stray from the path. All right?
Follow the flowers. Would it kill them to escort us? But if it affords us an opportunity to investigate Ixmaya, fine.
Your people, cute. Your people. Ooh. Get in the way. I was being careful. Well to be. I would have the seal that we may confirm its authenticity. It's just so thick. Straight to the point, I see. Very well. Huh. There is no mistaking the crest of the royal family. It is proper size, and by its weight it is plain that it was made from gold. The seal is indeed genuine. For 3,000 years we have waited for this moment, and now you are finally here. I bid you welcome, allies of Ronka. I am Elmet, chieftainess of Fanau. Ulmet, her younger sister. Semet, a pleasure. We were beginning to lose hope that you would come. I beg your pardon. These are troubled times for my people, though I can but imagine what has compelled you to venture into our woods. You must be tired after your journey. Come, take your ease. If you'd like, I will show you about the village, though I must warn you, it is a long way down to the forest floor, so do watch your step. Simmet is staring intently in your general direction. This way, what is your name? Akali. And this is a common name nowadays? How times change. But I digress. Come and be sure to watch your step. No dawdling. Once we have learned all we can of the warden and its whereabouts, we should be on our way. For 3,000 years did they wait? Incredible. For a moment I was worried they wouldn't accept the seal. They call themselves V's, is that right? Not a terrible diverse people from what I can see. As bearers of the seal, you have the right to know what became of the Empire and my people's purpose here. We are descendants of the palace guard, which served under the last emperor, and to this day we carry on the duties of our forebears, the final decree of his eminence before Ronka's fall. By the wisdom of our people was Ronka made to thrive. Such knowledge must never be forgotten, nor may it be suffered to fall into the hands of the wicked. Keep it secret, keep it safe, and look for the coming of our allies. Unto them you shall bequeath our all, and thus will Ronka live on. By his command we have remained in the Rontika Great Woods, guardians of the Ronka's ruins and the wisdom held within. I hope thou wilt not think the question impertinent, but did thy people's famed longevity perchance play a part in the Emperor's decision to entrust his mission unto thee and thine? That was one reason, yes. We V's would easily live to see 3 of your elven lifetimes. We were also the fiercest fighters. There are none more fit than us to stand watch over the remains of Ronka. But our duty has grown ever more perilous in the wake of the flood. Settlements such as this one were plentiful before the light reclaimed dominion over the land, but now Fanrao is all that remains. Our numbers dwindle year by year. Before long there will be no one left to honor the Emperor's wishes. And you believe we are the allies for whom you have waited? You have the seal, do you not? And after 3 millennia of waiting, that alone is nothing short of a miracle. Truth be told, I had begun to think you would never come. Sister. We are glad of your presence here in the Great Wood. The wisdom of Ronka is yours should you wish it. You need only ask. We come in search of the Light Warden. My apologies, but I do not know where it makes its lair. Umet, do you recall any sightings of this creature? Not in these past 30 summers. 30? But that would mean... How old are you exactly? Young enough to remember. With age comes knowledge. There may yet be one among us who has seen or heard of the abomination you seek. We have leave to speak with the other V's, then? But of course. Then we should split up and inquire individually. If someone knows something, I would hear it while there is yet time to act. I wanted to see if I could near it and just jump, but probably not. You search for the Light Warden? I cannot say I have ever laid eyes on it. Our duty is to protect the ruins, nothing more. We have no need to strike out in search of such a foe. Got stuck. The Light Warden, no, I have not seen it, but I have witnessed the horrors of the Lesser Eaters, how they are wont to hunt in packs and carry off their victims rather than consuming them on the spot. I suspect the Warden is a grotesque, corpulent thing, waiting patiently for its minions to bring its next meal. I won't let you jump anyway. I just want to do a little jump. No, but I could have made it onto the roof. Easy. Can't have any fun. An outsider? But how? By the gods, allies of the Empire. My sincerest apologies for failing to note your arrival. It was the Warden you wish to know about, yes? My mother, may she rest in peace, told me of its appearance in these woods. Before settling here in Vanau, she lived in the village near Ratika Falls until it was destroyed by the Sin Eaters. While out on patrol one day, she spotted a swarm of the abominations, one of which was different from the rest. It was larger, for one thing, but what struck her was the way its fellows seemed to revere it. She was convinced that what she had seen was the Light Warden. Your exchange with Corel has taught you something about the Light Warden's possible whereabouts. It was not my intention to pry, but your voices carry far. I know what it is you would ask of me. Unfortunately, the answer is no. I have not seen the Light Warden. I patrol the ruins perimeter regularly, and if it was hiding nearby, I would know about it. I pray the others were able to provide what I could not. Near Ratika Falls. Why was I not told of this? I think I see now why it has never been spotted on our patrols. I've never heard of this Ratika Falls. I can but assume it lies deep within the woods of Imaja. Just so, but the tunnel which leads there collapsed after the rather bloody battle with the Eaters, and it has not been passable for many years. We made several attempts to clear away the rubble, yet each time we were driven back. In the end, we were forced to give it up as lost. thereby making it a suitable place for the warden to make sanctuary. There is perhaps one way to enter, though it will be at great peril to you and your companions. The Quitana Ravel, a temple to the northeast. It has been sealed for centuries, but within it is a path that leads to the falls. Can it be opened? For the allies of Ronka, it can. First we must go to Kimul Astropolis. Once the flow of magic is restored there, the path through the Quitana Ravel can be opened. This may sound a simple task, but there are certain obstacles which prevent us from entering it ourselves, and we know not how to overcome them. The Empire never granted our forebears leave to look upon the secrets we are charged with protecting, that we might not be tempted. The means to do so were withheld from us. We can but show you the way. The rest will be up to you. It would seem we have our work cut out for us then, shall we? We have no time to waste. Let us be about it then. If that is your wish, it is my duty to escort you. While we attend to matters in the Kumul Astropolis, I would ask that your sisters accompany Urianger and Thancred, and share with them all you can of these woods. While we have every intention of investigating Ratika Falls, 'tis not yet possible the Light Warden dwells elsewhere. With that in mind, it would behoove us to prepare an alternative course of action. Umet, Simet, I leave them to you. Yes, sister. Should our present course prove false, doubt not that Thancred and I shall find any and all possible paths forward. Finally, I can be clothed. The outfit will be complete. Aw, beans. I guess I can get rid of the top. Ooh, I look so good. Oh, look at you. Fancy little soldier bun. You have been in that white Skivian gear for so long. I know. Nero made good stuff. And then he made Sid pay for it. Let's go. Almet stands ready to guide you through the ruins. What you seek lies at the heart of Kumul Astropolis. Unfortunately, it too was sealed shut by the order of His Eminence. If we are to open it, we must first look to the morning stars. Come, I will show you the way. When is the next time you work, Miss Q? Wednesday, okay. Do you know what time? Okay. 1 to 8, I presume? Okay. Well, you're gonna miss Wednesday, but I'll get you caught up when you come home. There's so much to do and not enough time. So I'm sorry. I feel bad about it. Looking upon these structures, I cannot help but be reminded of the ruins in Garabanya, but the manner in which they appear to be suppressing the natural flow of aether is more akin to the Alagon pillars in the House of the Crooked Coin. You were able to keep up? I see. Well done. Ahead lie the morning stars, 4 monuments built in tribute to the guardians of Raktika. Beyond them is the Great Pyramid of Yixnir, where the flow of magic must be restored. It is said that the monuments are themselves the keys to opening the pyramid, though I do not know how. That is for you to discover. Another puzzle. Wonderful. I would have a closer look. I saw at like the very top of my screen the cruise chaser animation, but it like freaked me out for a second, and then as I looked up there was just like a missile flying. There he is in the distance, cruise chaser. my nemesis, my enemy. There he goes. If it is indeed another puzzle, but for a blessing, it appears to be similar to the one we encountered at the lake. These statues are all depictions of divine beasts mentioned on the tablet. No doubt they will open the way into the period in like manner, but we have yet to discern the correct order. Let's split up and search the area for clues. These ruins are covered in ancient inscriptions. The answer may very well be hiding among them. Indeed, it may be best to transcribe them if they are as numerous as you say, better than risk overlooking something. Though transcription would prove impractical for you, yet not being versed in Ronkin script, no matter, you will employ a different approach. Impressions. Here, I had thought to use these clay tablets to record any significant imagery we discovered, but they will serve you just as well. Take impressions of any inscriptions you find. We will start at the base of the pyramids. You begin at the top. When you have finished, return here, and I will translate your findings. What? I know, I was like, what is happening behind me? I thought for sure I had to climb up these steps. Okay. There we go. I was having trouble getting up a step, and I was like, am I being blocked? You take an impression of the writing inscribed on the monument. You take an impression of the writing inscribed on the monument. Yeah. I don't know nothing about nothing. Lahi. I just picture him in his automatons. I love you, Soken. I trust you made good use of those clay tablets. Well done. A moment while I decipher what you found. Apologies for the delay. Nothing we saw at the base of the pyramids gave any hint as to the solution of the puzzle, focusing instead on how to proceed having solved it. Your findings, on the other hand, appear to form a riddle. Once assembled, it reads as follows. Come together, share despair. Go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Mark the crown, heed its call. Avert thy gaze, forever fall. I had assumed that the puzzle would involve a sequence, but from what Elmet and I were able to gather, it is but a matter of suffusing one of the statues with aether. The question being which one? Have you any thoughts? Not a single one, Y'shtola. Which one do you think, Miss Q? Owl's my guess too. Examining the owl statue, you notice it is facing north toward the Great Pyramid. Yeah. Given your talent for finding solutions to vexatious problems, I think it best that you choose the statue. What say you, Akali? Right then. After you have selected the statue, I will imbue it with the required aether. Should it prove to be a trap, I am more than capable of warding off any malignant magics that it may contain. Now, which statue will it be? Alright, I'll pray this works. The aether has been absorbed. You really do have a talent for these things. First try. The owl just made sense. The way should be clear now. Come, let us. Someone approaches. Sister! Sister! Zemet? What are you doing here? What has happened? Umorian soldiers! They've entered Yimash! Umorian soldiers? And what of the blessed? Nothing specific, but it seems the Umorians had little interest in Slitherborough or its people. According to our scouts, the general and his men made all haste for the gate to Yashmet Majah upon finding it. Together with Thancred, Uymet and some of the few others have engaged them at the border. You are to return and assist Uymet at once. They are not to set foot near the ruins or Fanro. We will see we will see to matters here and return as quickly as we can. Understood? Yes, sister. Be careful. Though I knew time was short, I did not expect the Elmorians to move so swiftly. But we have come too far to turn back now. I swear, if the Elmorians harm so much as a hair on the heads of the blessed, Elmet would have you hurry to the pyramid. Time is against us, friend. Quickly, into the pyramid. The switch should be through these doors in the confessional of Topasa, the Elder. But why is it not open? Magic appears to be flowing through the walls, but it's being obstructed as it approaches the door. Is it not strange that only one of these pedestals bears the owl statue? Strange indeed. The second statue was likely hidden to keep the door sealed. We can cover more ground if we split up. Almet, take the chamber to the south, Akali the one to the east. I will search the chamber to the west. I do know we have a duty coming up, so I'm gonna break party now. So we don't get caught in a cutscene conundrum. I've looked everywhere and... Wait, is that? Statue, you found it! It looks light enough, but need we return it to the other altar, no? One might assume so, but nothing about these ruins has ever been quite so simple. I sensed a strange energy emitting from the eyes of the statues in the corridors of this place. Should this figure be moved, it would not surprise me for them to suddenly stir to life. A trap, then, for the unsuspecting as they attempt to return this to its rightful place. Precisely. Caution would serve us well here. Which is why I would ask you to deliver the statue to the main chamber. An abundance of magic here courses through these walls. For my eyes distractingly so. I believe yours, on the other hand, would more aptly perceive the traps for what they are. Alright then. We will meet you at the door to the confessional of Topasa, the Elder. Deliver the owl statuette to the altar at the entrance of the confessional of Topa the Elder. You will have 2 minutes to complete the task. Should you fail, return to the starting location and begin anew. Be wary of attacks from enemies which will sap your strength. Okay, good. So because I know what to do, you can't walk in front of the owl statues. Well... I thought you were following me, so there's no need to say anything. You successfully deliver the statuette to the altar. The statue is returned, but was that enough? I believe it was. I can see Aether flowing to the door now. So I thought you were going to get pinged immediately, and then I can be like... But you followed me the first time, so I just assumed you would follow me again. No. I pray this means an end to the tricks and traps of these ruins. Oh, well done. Gomenasari. The sooner we can enter the Katana Ravel, the better. Are you dressed like Brother Nier? No. We are one step from entering the Katana Ravel, but I must warn you, this last step is without question the most perilous. Overcome this final trial, and the path forward will open to you. A path laden with more puzzles and traps, I'm sure. But the Emperor always takes such pleasure in wasting the time of his allies. Let us end this, Akali, while time is yet on our side. Elmet wishes to offer you words of warning. Before we enter, I would tell you of the trial that awaits you. The chamber is said to be filled with all manner of devices to keep trespassers away from the switch, the most potent being wards of displacement. They may very well force you into danger. Should we become separated, please use these. Whisper reeds. They will allow us to communicate no matter where we may find ourselves. I think Akali and I can work out how to use these well enough. Thank you. Alright, Akali. The sooner we finish here, the sooner we can return to the others. Shall we get this over with? It's just like that Zelda puzzle. Sister, do you hear me? 2 soldiers have broken through our defenses. Follow them. They are not to reach the temple, understood? A pair of soldiers somehow made it past my sisters, no doubt on their way here. All the more reason we should hurry then. Are we good? I think we should wait here. So,
away
what?
with you!
Why have we done this? Why did you suddenly start fighting? Oh my god. What have you done? Oh yeah, keep hitting me with those curses. I think the girls got caught. I should have stood further back. $28 of the Curse of Ronka. 12 stacks, baby! Yeah, did they get caught too? Yeah. I'm very annoyed at them. Okay. These We... No, this will be fine. Yeah. That's gonna need... They're the bad ones. You want to get to that yellow one. These are poisoned in there. So you're taking damage. I just didn't trust. I'm so scared. Well, there's no going back now. I pray it is not much further. Sister, they have reached the temple. I fear they are too fast for us. Be careful of the traps inside. We are nearly there. It is unheard of for anyone to outpace the V's. What is this man who comes after you? Could it be Ranjit? If so, we have precious little time. Another door, wonderful. I can but imagine what waits for us inside. Stoll is so grumpy. There you are. How did they get here before? By all accounts, it doesn't make any sense.
Here I come. No holding back.
Lahi? Do you know Lahi?
It seems to be working. I think not.
General, hold on!
This fucking clown.
Expertly done.
How was I to know that that would happen? It looked like any other part of the floor. Might now be an opportune time to strike a bargain? We poisoned a number of villagers in Slitherbough with a toxin brewed for us by the children. This is the antidote. I dare say you know how potent their concoctions are, and the futility of trying to counteract their effects. Now, try anything here, and we're all likely to fall.
Oh, this dude is such a cock.
Eventually someone will come to our rescue. Or yours. Promise us safe passage, and we'll give you the antidote. Do we have a deal?
We do not negotiate with the enemy. The villagers' lives are forfeit, as is yours.
General?
Do not fail.
How noble and pointless.
Is everyone all right?
Well,
What in the...
Oriage! At once!
Yeah.
Down with you!
You just hold that man. It's some Dead by Daylight play. Just hold the man.
Where is Y'shtola?
Oh, Y'shtola, had we been but a few steps faster. Why would she do such a thing? Thankfully, Ranjit's cohorts had the sense to fall back. Ermet should be here soon with word from Fanau. We should hold our position until she arrives. Elmet is strangely quiet. Elmet, please tell me you know if that hole might lead out into the woods somewhere. Were there another means of exiting the temple, there is no question that we would know of it. But I fear that that is of little consequence, for we have tried to mark the depth of the pit and failed. To fall from such a height... Sister, I come bearing news! The Omorian soldiers and the children have fled Yumeja. They abandoned Slitherbow as well, though they yet remain in the swamps near Lakeland. Unfortunately, a number of the blessed were poisoned while fending off the soldiers. One we believe to be of their order was found in Yumeja, feverish and badly wounded. He was taken to Fanau for treatment, but I fear there is little we can do for him. He and the other blessed will not last long without an antidote. Then we must act quickly. If you've a spare vial, Minvili and I can deliver it to the blessed in Slitherbow. You and Oriange should return to Fanau and tend to the wounded villager there. What about Y'shtola? I know it seems callous of us to leave, but she leapt into that hole for a reason. We have to save the blessed, whatever it takes. All right. My sisters and I will remain here. We must be certain no soldiers are still lurking about. Come, Macaulay. Let not Y'shtola's sacrifice be in vain. To Fanau. Going the wrong way, I am. It's down. It's Runar. Heavens forfend, Runar! 'Twas he who forestalled the Umorian's procession, and in doing so afforded the time to traverse the temple. Quickly, the antidote. Oh. Runar still appears visibly pained. Perhaps he requires another dose of medicine. The medicine seems to take effect as the color slowly creeps back into his cheeks. It would appear the worst hath passed, though his wounds yet want for mending. I shall minister to him forthwith. Urianji stands over Runar, ready to begin his ministrations. Rest, Akali. I prithee I shall attend to Runar's ministrations.
Runar. Thank goodness.
We delivered the antidote to Slitherbow, and from what we could gather on the way here, the Ulmorans have had the good manners to withdraw. Thank the gods they did, or we would never have made it here in time. I'm told we have Runar and his comrades to thank for keeping the soldiers occupied prior to their retreat. They were preparing to come for you and Y'shtola, it seems, when Runar rallied the villagers and pursued them out of Slitherbow.
In the care of the Vis. Thou art safe now, friend. Pray, rest thee a while longer.
No. No, I am all right. Somewhat heavy of limb, perhaps, but otherwise well, I assure you. I am glad to see you are all safe. When we realized where the soldiers were headed, we knew something had to be done. I do not see Master Matoya. She was with you, yes? What happened to her?
She saved the Knights Blessed, albeit at a cost.
Spare me your riddles and speak plain. Where is Master Matoya? No. No. No, that cannot be. Why would she do such a thing? Was there no other way? I cannot believe that she... We must begin the search immediately. I will come with you. What are you waiting for? We must find her. She could be trapped, or hurt, or... She is alive. She is alive, damn you!
Forgive me for interrupting, but our scouts have apprehended an intruder. We thought perhaps he might be an associate of yours.
Jailed for sleepy crimes.
Oh, look who it is. Well, this is embarrassing. In my defense, they are surprisingly tenacious. So, what trouble have you gotten yourselves into this time? Well, well. What an intriguing turn of events. My condolences, by the way. It is never easy to lose the ones we love. Well, she is dead, isn't she? Wishing it were otherwise will not make it so.
That you should be indifferent to her loss is no surprise. to us, she was a friend. The best of friends.
You have something on your mind. What is it?
After she fell, there was a powerful gust of wind, as if from nowhere.
Pray recount to us again that which thou witnessed in the ruins, omitting not the slightest detail.
Flow. The teleportation magic she used to spirit us away from Uldar after the bloody banquet. I recall a similar gale in the tunnel before it took effect.
Interesting. I thought I sensed a brief disturbance in the live stream. How reassuring to know it was not my imagination. I felt it only once, I should mention, which would suggest she is still adrift on its currents.
Then I fear she may yet be lost to us. For it was only by the grace of the elementals that she was plucked from that great ethereal river.
Ah, very well. I'll go and fetch her. Perhaps a clear and unambiguous act of kindness will serve to win the trust you seem so determined to deny me.
Could it truly be within his power to pluck Y'shtola from the life stream, as he claimeth? 'Tis a feat beyond even the greatest practitioners of the arcane. Yet if he would attempt it, we cannot well stand in his way. Though I am loath to trust him, I suppose we have no choice. For now, at least. Do you really think he can bring her back? Now then, if I am to fetch her for you, I will require a suitable place to work. We must find somewhere that resonates strongly with the life stream. And by we, I mean you. To that end, I give you this, an ethereal lamp of my own design. Keep it close as you venture out into the woods. The brighter the glow, the stronger the location's resonance within the life stream. Once you've found a likely spot, all you need do is whistle. You do know how to whistle, don't you, hero? Just put your lips together and blow. To find a location that resonates within the life stream, you will need to search the area marked on your map. Use the ethereal lamp to pinpoint an ideal location and then call for Emmett Selk. Well, what are you standing around here for? Get searching. You do want to save her, don't you? Actually... Run around at the speed of sound. Lahi. I need to go down. dinosaur. This is a B rank. I need these deer to leave me alone. I guess it'll probably be right here with everybody else. The lamp is near blinding. Perhaps now would be a good time to call for Emmett's Elk. I know, it's just... We gotta put our lips together and blow.
Yes, this place should serve well enough. Might I have a little space? I need to concentrate.
Oh man, I forgot to talk to the rabbit sisters. But they found him sleeping in a tree, and that's how he got arrested.
Now then, what color was her soul again? Ah, there you are.
He's done it. He's brought her back.
Clothed.
Y'shtola, are you all right?
Yes, though I cannot imagine how. What happened?
Thou didst invoke the power of flow, which thence did usher thy soul unto the life stream.
I wanted to save the antidote, and after that... I did something exceedingly reckless, for which you will just have to forgive me.
Master Matoya! Oh, thank the heavens you're all right. I had nearly given up hope.
Aww.
Please, Renard, dry your tears. What would the others think if they saw you like this? Come now. Did you really think I would go gently into that dark night with so much left undone? So many mysteries left unsolved.
Is there aught you wish to say to me? A word of thanks, perhaps?
Perhaps. They're real good. We do owe this man.
Selk, the Ascian of whom I spoke. 'Twas he who plucked thee from the live stream.
We do owe this man a thank you. I don't think we should pretend we don't.
I see. Thank you. Differences notwithstanding, you saved my life, and for that I am grateful. But let us turn our attention to more important matters, such as the Katana Ravel. You had better not have explored its depths without me.
I wouldn't have known where to start.
Well, Almet and the others should be pleased to see you in such uncharacteristically high spirits. Let us return to Fanoff then, and discuss the coming expedition.
He's always slouchy. He can't help it. He's old and his back hurts. He's tired. The weight of the soul. What a touching reunion that was. It fair brought a tear to my eye. But as we both know, such tender moments are nothing if not momentary. Before long, they will remember their many differences and return to squabbling. Says the Arc-bringer of Chaos. Flattery will get you nowhere, my dear. But seriously, we Ascians do what we do for the greater good, for the rejoining. Though we may sow seeds of chaos, it is man who tends them, he who reaps their bountiful harvest. But I grow tired of these arguments. If you would kindly refrain from retorting and return to your customary brooding silence, I will take it as thanks for rescuing your companion and leave it at that. No, we mustn't keep your friends waiting. Oh, I knew the flattering one. I absolutely know. Let's go. What the hell is that? Not my business. What is going on? This has to be for the fate. It is the only thing I can think of. So there's a chief and face in every zone. Dating all the way back to Heaven's Ward. I believe the Shadowbringers ones are a bit more story and well, some of the Shadowbringers ones are a bit more story oriented. These have to be for part of the fate. Alright, this will be the last quest we do because we are about out of time, and the next thing we do after this is the dungeon. So we'll just save that for Tuesday. I told you I tire of these inane arguments. Shouldn't you be getting ready to slay the next Light Warden or something? With your friend returned, we will resume your exploration of the ruins, yes? But say the word and we shall assist you. It was fate who brought you to us, and fate who returned your companion to you. She smiles on Ronka, I am sure of it. We are both gladdened and relieved to see your companion returned hale and whole. Though I struggle to form words, I am glad that Emmett Silk was here. We can but pray Y'shtola never does anything so reckless again. Arianje once told me that being immersed in the life stream can cause irreparable harm to the body. Do you suppose Y'shtola is alright? In all of history, there are but few who have returned from a misadventure in the ethereal sea, possessed of mind and body both. To have done so twice beggareth belief. 'Tis plain Y'shtola wanteth not for favour among the 12. By all that is dark, Master Moyatoya is returned! She stands here before me yet, still I cannot believe it. My apologies for having put you through all such an ordeal. I could see no other way to save the knights blessed. Happily both they and I yet live, thanks to you. But our work here is not yet done. We must make ready to enter the Katana Ravel and put the Light Warden to the sword. Alright, and putting the Light Warden to the sword, we'll have to wait till Tuesday. Mondays will still be my day off, but the whole schedule is getting a bit of a shake-up. Simply due because we have, I think, 29 days left till... 29 days exactly till Endwalker. We will not be playing the early access. We will wait till the day it comes out. I believe so. I'm very excited about all that. So going forward, we will have Darkest Dungeon at 2 p.m. in the usual early slot, 2 p.m. EST, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and then Final Fantasy will take the 6 p.m. slot all the way through the week except for Mondays. So even the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday stream, those will all have different times. Actually, let me switch to... So I'm big. So those will all be at 6 p.m. right now. So the schedule's gonna be a little wonky, but that's okay. So we'll be starting later on Saturdays and Sundays. It will no longer be 4, but it will be 6, and that will be the time when we do Endwalker as well, 6 p.m. EST. So I will try to remember to update the schedule. It's just gonna have Final Fantasy XIV all over it. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here. Don't forget that the raffle is on November 21st, which should be the last day before maintenance happens and everything gets done. It's exclamation point stars. It'll be 5,000 stars per raffle ticket. So Q, who is not even here all the time anymore and does not act in chat, has enough for 1, going on 2 stars. The more you interact, the more stars you get, and when you subscribe, you also get stars. The numbers were a little wonky for subscriptions, but I have adjusted that so that for every subscription you get 1,000 stars. All of chat gets 1,000 stars. So good luck to you. It is a $25 item from Bog Station. So good luck to all of you and collect those stars. I will be back on Tuesday for Darkest Dungeon 2, which I'm very excited about. Otherwise, have a lovely evening, and we will see you soon. Goodbye!